In a state like Utah, which obviously has a dominant religion, there are often folks wondering, just what is it about the other religions that I don't know? Or what is it that I should know? Well, especially folks may want to know what happens in the afterlife. And that is what E.E. King asked and is answering in Dirk Quigby's Guide to the Afterlife. Yes, it's sort of like a hitchhiker's guide to the galaxy, but the afterlife version. And E.E. King, thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me.
So, all right, I'll bite. What was the inspiration for this sort of, humorous look at religion across the globe?
Well, it was actually divine inspiration.
Pun intended?
Of course.
Okay.
God showed up with some platinum tablets, actually, but they were in Reformed Macedonian. And he didn't give me any rocks to put in my eyes, so I wasn't able to translate them, and I had to do my own research.
That's unfortunate. So,
It is.
Was this something, you went into it, do you have a background in comparative religion? Or, what was, after God spoke to you and said, I need you to write this book, where did you go from there?
Well, first I tried to translate the Reformed Macedonian, and when that failed and he reclaimed the tablets, I had to do my research mostly online.
Yeah.
I did actually read all the classics like the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Quran.
That's an awful lot of reading to do, but
not all of Dianetics.
Okay, but and because you even have information in here on the Zoroastrians, the ancient Egyptians, and all sorts of every possible sect of Protestantism. It seems
actually
that's
not, but it seems like it. Yes.
Yes, and so what were you finding as you went and did this? Did you always have in mind that you were going to take a somewhat humorous look, or did this start off as a more serious academic project?
Never started off as a more serious. It got more academic, actually. It started off completely humorous, but then I thought, well, why make up my comedy when it's already been redone for me? All I have to do is research it. What I found is that most religions, all religions involving Christ, especially, shall I say, are the one true church of God. And if you don't belong to them, you are going straight to hell, and you're going to stay there a really long time.
But what about that makes it pretty tough for the rest of us, the Jews, the Buddhists, whatever. So, but while Christianity may follow that sort of tenet, what do some of the other religions believe about the afterlife?
Well, the Jews can't decide whether there's an afterlife or not, so most don't even bother to come.
Right.
With Asians...
Unless the Mormons invite them.
Unless the Mormons... There's some you can get into. You can Mormonism, you can go after death, obviously, which is why there are all those vicarious baptisms for the dead. I love baptizing the dead. They never struggle when you hold them under.
Yeah.
And the Moonies, you can come. Everybody will eventually get into the Mooney afterlife, the Zoroastrian afterlife.
And where are all these afterlives then? How is there room for them in one great big heaven?
Well, surely have you been reading any quantum physics lately? Multi-dimensions. I think they're spaced for them all somewhere.
Okay, well that's good. That's good to know. What was the most interesting afterlife? Which one struck you as because it's like a travel guide or a Zagat guide. You have a 5-star. You have star ratings for various categories. Talk about the categories you were rating them on.
Right. There's 5-star ratings for food, drink, music, accommodations, and entry requirements. So. It depends on what you like.
Does that mean if it's like a velvet rope? How strict the door policy is?
Exactly. Some are pretty damn strict, and some it's like Quakers, easy.
Yeah. All you got to do is ask to come in, and
pretty much you just got to follow the strivings of God within you. You'll be let in.
So, but easy to get in. But is that the kind of afterlife you would choose? Is it the most exclusive then? And something people would want to get into? Well,
it depends on what you're looking for. Like if you're a horny guy, I recommend the Nation of Islam every time. The Garden of Paradise, well, you get 72 virgins with regenerating hymens. You get drink that never makes you drunk, never gives you a hangover, and never makes you too sloppy. So basically, you have to spend this life not having sex and not drinking, so you can spend eternity having sex and drinking.
Okay, my director is telling me that the flying spaghetti monsterism, has all of that, and you're allowed to do that on in this life as well.
Well, I think that sounds like a great religion. I did bring you some gifts. I brought you a bottle of wine from the Catholic Afterlife. Drink it, and it turns to blood.
That doesn't sound like something I really want to go after.
Well,
I'm not a vampire over, here.
Well, maybe this wouldn't be the right religion for you then.
Fair enough.
Actually.
Okay.
And I also brought you some of Brigham's yummy Jell-O. The Mormons, I've noticed, seem very fond of Jell-O with all kinds of interesting things added to it.
Okay. Well, again, maybe not for my palate, but So if you said Islam has a great afterlife, for the sort of hedonistic set. What's probably the most boring afterlife?
Oh, I would have to say Baptists are pretty boring afterlife. In fact, one of the things is you shouldn't enjoy the good things on earth too much, because if you get too much into pleasures on earth, you will be bored by heaven, even though it does have mansions of gold. It's not going to be that interesting, which is not much of a recommendation, if you ask me.
Big mansion, but you have to clean it yourself, kind of thing?
Kind of thing, yeah.
Ah.
And, everything's covered with plastic. It's not good.
It's kind of like, my grandmother's house.
Probably.
Except
I don't know.
Not,
she
not
had
big
a gold, yeah.
It wasn't a lot of gold, or maybe, gold paint. E.E. King, thank you so much for coming in. This is a great read. A lot of fun. You're going to be all over the place. In the next couple of weeks.
I am going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be at Dolly's Bookstore here in Park City on Main Street from 6:30 to 8, doing a reading and signing with many more props and much more Afterlife. And the next day, Saturday, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City at the King's English from 2 to 4.
All right. Well, and if people want more information, is there a website that has this in chart form or something like that?
Well, I suggest you go to Facebook actually and fan Dirk Quigby's Guide to the Afterlife. Not only to get updates about the afterlife, you'll get little videos on each religion, and of course where I'll be speaking. You can order this on Amazon, or it should be available at almost any bookstore if it's not just Ask, and they will send it to you
from the heavens.
From the heavens,
whichever one it may be,
or below.
Or from below. E.E. King, thank you so much for coming in. The book you have to read before you die. Literally, this is on your bucket list of books if you want to make the right choice for you. And if you want to read your very own copy, we've got one signed by the author. Give us a call right now, 435-649-0045. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with another author. This one is Bruce Mahart, right after this.